Hey, welcome everybody. Today I want to talk through a little bit about what inspires me to write and hopefully for you, what can help keep you writing even when you feel like writing is the absolute last thing you want to do. Or if you felt like, hey, I'm not a writer, there's nothing I'm going to write that's going to be great. So I want to talk to you about that. And I'm thinking particularly of my most recent writing experience, which was Even More Fantastic Failures. And this book was powerful for me to write because it taught me how to write and understand that struggle is very much a part of writing. So if you think about yourself as a writer, or perhaps just in life in general, as a basketball player, as a ballet dancer, as a percussionist, as a ukulele player, as a soccer player, and anything, a chess player, robotics teammate, anything you might do, sometimes we can think that if we struggle, it means we're not supposed to do it, right? I don't know if you've ever felt that way where you think if it feels really hard or if it feels like it doesn't come easily to you, it means you're not supposed to do it. Well, what I've learned is that that is completely false. And in fact, some of the most powerful and amazing people in our world struggled with the things they ended up making a difference with in our world, right? They struggled most with that. And so, as we think about writing, when it comes to writing, writers don't have an easy time writing. In fact, some people say, and I can attest to this, that writers are people for whom writing is even harder because we have so many ideas in our brains and we write and we're trying to figure out, is this good enough? Is it what it's supposed to be? If you're like me, right, you might hear some voices sometimes in your head that are telling you that's not a good enough sentence. Stop. And what's the point of writing this? Somebody else is going to write something better, right? Those voices are trying to get us to stop from writing the powerful things we could write, right? So here's what I want to challenge you to do, a thing to think about when you're in your middle or high school class or upper elementary classroom and a teacher assigns you a writing project, or when you're at home and you're trying to work on a story or you're trying to write something you've got to send to someone. And all of those times, you might hear some of those voices in your head that say, what's the point? This isn't going to be any good. Just stop now. Instead, what I want you to do is write through the temptation to stop. In other words, we can't really think our way out of a struggle, right? If we're struggling as writers or in lots of areas of life, if we just tell ourselves, all right, I'm going to stop and I'm just going to sit here and think about it, it's not really going to get us very far. Sometimes we have to actually do the things that we think we can't do. So with writing, when we feel ourselves being bombarded by voices telling us it's not good enough or it's not important enough or the idea isn't going to be very good or who's going to like it, that's a moment not where we have to stop and think, but where we have to keep writing. So here's my challenge for you. What I'm going to ask you to do is when you're writing and you sit down to write, I'm going to challenge you to not stop writing. So and you could set yourself a time limit. I sometimes give myself about 20 to 30 minutes. This is for me when I'm having a hard time starting writing. I'll set myself 20 to 30 minutes and I'll tell myself, all right, Luke, do not stop writing. Whatever you do, just keep punching the keys on the keyboard, or if I'm writing in my journal, keep that blue pen moving and just don't stop. Even if I end up writing things like, I really want a cupcake right now. I really want a cupcake, you know how, and I sing it as well as I write it. But even if that's what I'm writing, I will not let myself stop. I will just keep writing and writing and writing in the hopes that eventually I'll find a rhythm and what'll start coming out of my pen or start coming onto the keypad will be less silly gibberish and more powerful sentences or the things I really desire to write. The trick, though, is if we listen to those voices telling us it's not good enough and that we should stop, we'll never get to the powerful part of writing. We'll always stop and we'll try to think ourselves through something which we can't think through. We have to actually write through. So that's my challenge for you today. See what you can write through to create a powerful story, a poem, an idea, a card, an essay, a message, an assignment, whatever it is you want to write. And if you want to apply this to other areas of your life, your work in sports or dance or chess or robotics, sometimes it's by the actual action of moving forward, one slow step at a time, refusing to say, I'm not good enough. What's the point? I better just stop. And instead saying, no, I might not get this design correct on this robot, but I'm going to keep trying to rewire and reprogram. I might not get this pirouette or this three-pointer or this soccer kick, but I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep trying. That's what's got power to it. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.